Presence over pressure. There is a pattern most men fall into, and few notice it until it has already cost them their energy. You see her, someone captivating, someone alive in ways that pull at something deep inside you, and suddenly the rhythm of your own life falters. You text first, again and again. You joke, you ask questions, hoping she will lean in, and slowly, almost imperceptibly, the energy begins to flatten. She answers slowly. Nights end with polite smiles, hollow gestures, and promises that drift away like smoke. You tell yourself she needs more proof, so you push harder, longer messages, faster replies, bigger gestures, and yet, the harder you try, the less she feels you. Why does effort in these moments repel instead of attract? Here is the truth, quietly uncomfortable. Attention that is always available loses its weight. Desire does not respond to pressure, it responds to presence. Real attraction is not earned by trying harder. It is noticed in the space you hold, the calm you maintain, the life you refuse to suspend for someone else. Imagine the man who does not chase. He texts when he has something to give, not when he fears emptiness. He plans, but he does not demand. He is occupied with work, with health, with friends, with the projects that define his identity beyond the walls of any relationship. That life is magnetic. His energy is grounded, and tension becomes inevitable, the kind of tension that makes a woman lean forward, not recoil. This is not manipulation. It is not cold strategy. It is stoic observation in practice, controlling your mind, your pace, your investment, not because she must notice, but because you must remain whole. The harder you chase, the more you fragment. The quieter you stand in your own center, the more your energy resonates. Let me tell you a story, not to instruct, but to illuminate. Jason, 51, a man of steady routine and measured habits, met Anna, 46, a vibrant presence of her own. He became caught in the old pattern, long texts each morning, calls every evening, rescheduling his life around hers. At first, her responses were polite. Gradually, the warmth faded, replies shortened, and finally they stopped altogether. Jason's mistake was not caring, it was giving his attention without boundary. He handed over his presence before it was earned, before his own foundation was secure. His energy said, without words, "You are the prize. I wait for your choice." But desire does not flow toward dependency. It flows toward stability, toward life that moves with its own gravity. When he stepped back, shifted his rhythm, rebuilt his own routines, something curious happened. Anna reached out first. The same woman who once faded became interested again, not because she changed her mind, but because he had changed his own. His silence carried weight, his focus carried value. That is the paradox of attraction. When you stop trying to prove your worth, it is finally felt. Ask yourself, how often do you allow your energy to be fragmented by pursuit? How often do you give before your own center is solid? These are not rhetorical questions, they are mirrors. The first step is simple, but not easy. Stop chasing. Observe. Step into the calm space of your own rhythm. Let your life be complete in itself. This is not absence, it is presence, full, quiet, and undeniable. Let her curiosity meet you there. Let her wonder where your attention has gone, and let that wonder deepen the connection in ways words cannot. Because attraction is never built in desperation, it is built in composure. It is built in the stillness that radiates confidence without claim. It is built in a life that asks nothing and offers everything, subtly, without haste. And here is another quiet question for you. What does it mean to be magnetic without effort? How does one cultivate the gravity that pulls others in, not through pressure, but through restraint? These questions linger because the answers are lived, not read. They are practiced, not performed. If you have felt the difference between chasing and allowing space, leave a comment. Let this be the place where observation begins.
The power of needlessness and energy. The man who does not need her is rarely understood, yet always felt. Neediness is subtle, almost invisible, until it is gone. It shows in the small shifts, the text sent too quickly, the glance that lingers too long, the nervous energy that leaks between words. Neediness is pressure disguised as care. It is the anxiety that whispers, "If I just try harder, she will finally see me." But she does not want to complete you. She does not want to rescue your life. She wants to join it. She wants to step into a man whose world is already moving, already steady, already ruled by his own purpose. And when she meets that man, curiosity awakens. Desire arises naturally, without force, without spectacle. Consider energy, the most overlooked currency of attraction. Words, gifts, gestures, they pale in comparison to the energy you carry. When calm and centered, it flows from you effortlessly. When scattered, restless, or anxious, it leaks like water through cracks, unnoticed until the foundation has shifted. Stephen, 50, discovered this the hard way. He met Claire, a woman who matched his early warmth with patience. At first, their connection was steady. Then, as he liked her more, his energy faltered. Texts became longer, replies came too fast, pauses between messages were agonized over. Claire sensed it, not in the words themselves, but in the unsteady rhythm, the tension, the invisible tremor of need. She pulled back, not because affection faded, but because his energy betrayed uncertainty. Energy does not lie. Your body speaks before your voice, before your mind rationalizes. Posture, tone, timing, restraint, they all communicate the same truth. Stability attracts, instability repels. So, what does it mean to control your energy? It means mastering the current inside yourself before you attempt to influence anyone else. It is the quiet discipline of a man who responds with thought, not impulse. A man who notices the urge to check his phone, the pull to send another message, and instead pauses, breathes, recalibrates. Epictetus wrote, "No man is free who is not master of himself." He did not mean merely to abstain from chaos, but to command it, to anchor yourself, even as storms of desire and uncertainty swirl around. This is not performance, it is quiet mastery. And mastery manifests as mystery. Mystery is not deception, it is selective revelation. Most men destroy attraction because they give too much, too soon. They explain, justify, narrate every emotion, every story, every detail. But what keeps a woman awake at night is what she cannot fully grasp. The parts of you that remain unspoken, the spaces between words, the calm pauses that invite her to lean in and wonder. Mystery is not coldness, it is deliberate restraint. It is the man who shares warmth without dissolving into it, who gives glimpses without offering the whole, allowing her curiosity to grow naturally. Every pause, every measured silence becomes magnetic. It is tension made tangible. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. To live this is to embody mystery, not through games, not through manipulation, but through depth, focus, and purposeful presence. A man who moves through life with intention, who builds his own structure, cannot be fully read, and she feels it even if she cannot name it. Imagine the contrast, a man who chases, who floods her world with attention, versus a man who needs nothing yet is fully present. The first is predictable, the second irresistible. She is drawn to the one who controls himself before trying to control her, who gives attention only when it is meaningful, who lets silence speak louder than words ever could. And here's a question to linger on. How often do you let your energy dictate your actions unconsciously? How often do you scatter it in pursuit rather than concentrate it in presence? The answer shapes more than your love life. It shapes how the world experiences you, how women feel your weight even before you speak.
Calm, distance, and the paradox of needlessness. Calm is the quiet language of power. It does not shout. It does not seek attention. Yet it speaks louder than words, louder than gestures, louder than any frantic effort to impress. The man who has mastered calm does not need constant validation. He moves through the world with measured rhythm, unshaken by absence, unhurried by uncertainty. Mark, 53, discovered this with Andrea, a woman whose presence was serene, reflective, and steady. In their early meetings, he felt the urge to fill every pause with conversation, every silence with reassurance. Then he paused. He noticed the rhythm of his breath, the steady beat of his own life. He spoke less. He smiled more. He allowed silence to carry the weight it had always been capable of carrying, and something remarkable happened. Andrea leaned in. Her warmth grew. She responded not to noise, but to the magnetism of his stillness. Silence is not emptiness. Absence is not rejection. Distance is a force, subtle but profound. Desire does not grow from constant presence, it grows in contrast, in space, in moments where curiosity is allowed to flourish. When you withdraw, even slightly, you create a vacuum that draws attention naturally. She notices the man who does not bend, who does not chase, who does not crumble when plans shift. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Be like the rock against which the waves break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it." Distance is not abandonment, it is solidity. It is the conscious decision to allow life to continue uninterrupted, to let attraction arise from the weight of your consistency rather than the volume of your efforts. And sometimes the ultimate act of power is walking away without anger, without explanation, without drama. Kevin, 56, learned this with Laura, 51. Their connection had been deep, but over time her uncertainty grew. He could have chased, argued, persuaded. Instead, he walked away, simply, calmly, with clarity. "I respect that. Take care of yourself." 2 weeks later, she reached out, not because he had pushed, but because his absence confirmed his value, revealed his autonomy, and demonstrated that his life was complete, independent of her choices. There is a paradox here. The more you need, the less you attract. The less you need, the more magnetic you become. Neediness is a subtle scent of weakness. Independence is an aura of strength. A man who needs less does not detach from life or love, he immerses in it fully, yet on his own terms. He gives, but without expectation. He invests, but without desperation. He shares, but he does not dissolve. Needing less does not mean indifference, it means deliberate presence. It means choosing how you engage, where you place your energy, and how you honor your own rhythm. When your focus is anchored in purpose, not reaction, people feel it, women feel it. Attraction flows towards stability, not anxiety. Desire arises from the tension of controlled energy, from mystery, from measured absence, from calm authority that does not demand but invites. Ask yourself this: when was the last time you let silence speak for you? When did you last allow your presence to be felt rather than constantly explained? When did you choose your own life over chasing attention? These are the subtle questions that shape not just attraction, but identity. In the end, attraction is not a matter of effort, it is a matter of energy. It is about who you are, not what you say. It is about standing firm, moving deliberately, and letting your life carry its own gravity. It is about needing less, giving more presence, and allowing curiosity, desire, and respect to flow naturally toward you. So stop chasing, stand still, cultivate calm, let mystery grow. Show less, mean more. Step back, regain your space, walk away when necessary, and allow your life to pulse with rhythm independent of anyone else's choices. The man who masters this quiet force is not just attractive, he is magnetic. Remember, the energy you radiate is your most honest signal. It does not lie, it does not negotiate, it simply exists, and in that existence it draws those who recognize value, those who feel balance, those who sense strength without need. If you have absorbed these truths, take them into your life, observe, practice, refine, and notice the subtle shifts, the glances that linger, the curiosity that arises, the respect that deepens. This is the art of calm, of mystery, of presence, of attraction born from mastery rather than effort. If this resonates with you, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Stay present, stay grounded, and cultivate the quiet power that always draws without ever chasing.